me when the transphobia just comes out, the audacity and just the arrogance for cis women to believe that they own periods, that they own womanhood. You don't. Okay, you don't own periods, you don't own womanhood. You experience both, and both are different for every person, but as a cis woman, it doesn't belong to you, so you can't gatekeep it. Like, hello.
Hey guys, welcome to Storytime with a Grown Woman. That's swag and the W is silent. So if you watched my videos before, you know we're about to do some housekeeping. But if you have not, I ask guys that you please like, dislike, share, comment, subscribe. And the reason I ask that is so I can grow my channel, build a community, and be able to speak with a broader spectrum of people. So now that we've done that, I'm going to thank you in advance. So you just heard this trans person comment toward transphobia. Jess Hilarious is trending right about now because of her response in calling trans people delusional. And I want to start off by saying this. Seems like all Western people want to hold on to their traumas. At the end of the day, everybody wants to hold on to traumas. But we all have shit that we've dealt with. So first I would like to say, let's just stop holding on to the traumas and keep it moving. Learn from them and keep it moving. Learn from your experiences. Learn from your traumas and go. There shouldn't always be a center to make excuses for everything that you do. We have people over in those third world countries who are really dealing with serious stuff. But when they come over here, they're not talking about their traumas. Like, they're not. And I'm not saying nobody's trauma is worse than the other. But at the end of the day, if you've only dealt with an abusive boyfriend or a husband, okay, try being sexed and screwed by different men every freaking second of the day at the age of 2 or 3. Try being a sex slave. Try being somewhere where you're banned and you can't speak. You can't show your face. You can't have an opinion. Like, try that. The trauma thing is just so annoying. And I've had crap happen to me in my life, but at the end of the day, I know it's somebody else who's going through something worse. I'm not holding on to my traumas. So now that we've got the trauma stuff out of the way, let's stop that. So Jess Hilarious is trending because she called trans people delusional. And you heard a response to transphobia, trans woman being or voicing her opinion about transphobia. And I just have I'm on different fences of this because being a part of the lifestyle versus not, you're going to have two different perspectives, okay? And I think I've seen a lot of videos where the people are only one-sided when it comes to this. So that way, that causes a one-sided perspective of what Jess Hilarious said. Honestly, I feel like Jess Hilarious said something that a lot of people in the industry want to say, but they're afraid to say it because they may get canceled. So I do think that she said something that a lot of people want to say, but I don't think she had to include delusional. So if you don't know what Jess Hilarious said, let's watch this clip and then we'll come back and talk about it.
Who the fuck is gonna stand up for us? Who the fuck stands up for us? And us, I mean women, real women, biological women, women who were born with all the parts that you guys wish that you were. When does the delusion stop? What is the difference between you and someone who has been diagnosed to be mentally insane.
Okay, so do you see what I mean? How she had to include the delusional part? I really think that was unnecessary. Now, where did this attack come from? Like, and maybe I'm missing something. Maybe you guys can tell me in the comments what I am missing from this, but I'm not understanding where the attack came from, because it seems like both individuals are speaking from being attacked. So what happened to the trans woman to make her say what she said? And as far as Jess Hilarious, I don't feel like she was attacked. I just feel like she did the attacking. So, and I'm not understanding why. But at the end of the day, Jess Hilarious didn't have to say they were delusional. It's like it's a competition. Like, it's a competition between cis women and trans women. Why? Why is it a competition? Like, just be who you are. Everybody have their own experiences. Everybody. Now, for me, the only issues I have is when children are allowed to change their body parts at young ages. But other than that, I have really no comment on how a person lives or what they do, and it may be because I experience both sides of the spectrum. Granted, at one time I was one of those Christians who wouldn't attempt to have an understanding for anything if it wasn't heterosexual. So I didn't have an understanding of anything. And one thing about a Christian, they're not supposed to be judgmental. And from experience, being judgmental will sometimes place you in a position to where you're humble. And I hate to kind of like transition over to the religious side of things, but you will, in my experience, that hedge of protection that's over you will be removed to allow you to get into those situations you never would have thought you would find yourself in. And that was me. But I'm not going to that's a whole different story. But at the end of the day, I feel like Jess Hilarious said something that a lot of people want to say, but they're afraid to say, especially in the industry. Do I agree with what she said? I agree with some of what she said, but I definitely don't agree with calling the people delusional. This book here, by Billy Porter, Unprotected, it opened my eyes to a lot of things. Also, this book here it was an ebook that I read. A book that had me in complete tears. It definitely gave me a different perspective as to why a lot of the trans people are so flamboyant, just out there. I really can't, after flamboyant, I can't add anything to it. It gave me a better perspective of why they act the way they do. It's a form of freedom. And if you want to hold on to traumas, they have a lot of trauma that they deal with as well. Now, as for me being when I said I'm on both sides of the spectrum, I've dibbled and dabbled on what you call the kink side. So it allowed me to be in the presence of people that I never thought that I would be in the presence with. And at the end of the day, regardless of how these people are dressed, how they live their lives. They are some genuine people, very genuine. And if you want somebody on your side, they're there for you. I've had the best times around trans people, being in the kink community. Okay, so if you don't know what the kink community is, what is kink? It is a set of pleasurable activities that people choose to do together that in other contexts are not pleasurable or usual. So, I may be in a place where I see a lot of trans people. I may see littles. If you don't understand the BDSM kink terms, you may not understand all of that. But that kind of puts me in a place where I am just, like I said, in the presence of many different types of people. Again, getting on the religious side of it, I hear people saying, God didn't make a mistake. He didn't do this. I'm not saying he did, but at the end of the day, you have these people who have been dealing or fighting with their flesh or their feelings and desires for years. They've been dealing with this since they were children. And, whether we accept it or not, whether we believe it, we can't tell them how they feel. Nobody's asking you to accept it. You don't have to. But you don't have to call them delusional either. And when you look at the community, they stick together. What are we doing? Are we sticking together? So, yeah, like I said, I've seen a lot about Jess Hilarious' statement. Some I do agree with, but I definitely don't agree with calling the people delusional. Everybody knows that a cis woman is born that way. She has everything that a real woman has. We know that a trans person isn't. And if they want certain rights, okay, so be it, whatever. I look at it as maybe sometimes they can get a little cocky or whatever. Hey, I like a little cockiness. I like confidence. But at the end of the day, this is not a competition between cis and trans. It's not. Because at the end of the day, trust me, those trans, they're going to be on the front line when something goes down. They're going to be the ones who, when you need help or you're in a situation, they're going to be there. So my take on this would, again, just, it's not a competition. Just do you and keep it moving. If it's not something that's appealing to you, don't deal with it. I tell people in my comments all of the time, I didn't ask you to watch this video. I didn't ask you to comment. You have the right to just keep it moving. So yeah, let's stop making this out to be a competition, because it's definitely not a competition. Okay, let's stop holding on to our trauma. Come together and just enjoy lives, enjoy being in each other's presence. Be willing to learn. I submitted a video one day this week regarding different cultures. So just like with different cultures, they have to learn. Each party have to learn each other's culture. Okay, well, let's learn each other's stance on where we are. If you're trans, okay, cis woman, learn what they deal with, and vice versa. Learn from each other instead of bash each other. And that's what I would say in regards to this. It's not a competition. We can all learn from each other. So, yeah. So, let's talk about it in the comments. Are you agreeing with Jess Hilarious, or are you agreeing with the community? Let's talk about it. And as always, I thank you so much for taking the time to listen to Storytime with a Grown Woman. That's Swag, and the W is silent. And if you didn't, so I'm confident you did. But if you didn't, if you got all into this video and forgot, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye.